A North Omaha neighborhood is saying goodbye to a woman many call Minne Lusa's matriarch.
Our Brenna Kiefner is in the newsroom with more on her life and the legacy she leaves behind. Hey, Brenna.
Yeah, Brian and Jacqueline, neighbors say Sharon Olson never wanted the spotlight. She just showed up to plant gardens, save libraries, and make sure her neighbors felt at home year after year for decades. Olson spent all 80-plus years in that neighborhood. She helped launch community gathering spaces and fought to keep the Florence Library open when the city threatened to close it. And that Halloween tradition that draws thousands of kids to the boulevard every year, well, that actually started with Sharon and just one other house. The Pollinator Garden on Minne Lusa Boulevard bears her name. City leaders say she was always right when it came to protecting the neighborhood she and many others loved.
I think all they need to do is be active, and that's the one thing that I think a lot of times is missing from our community. We have too many people who want to point fingers rather than get involved. Sharon didn't point fingers. Several members of this community, they don't point fingers, they just get the job done.
In Minne Lusa tonight, neighbors say the best tribute to Sharon Olson is a simple one. Just get outside, get involved, and take care of each other. Live in the newsroom, Brenna Kiefner, First Alert 6.
Yeah, great message. Just
Yeah,
get
that's
involved.
very sweet. Yeah.
Get out there. Brenna, thanks. Well, there's a